So, Khan. Shalom. Khan, this is Brother Shalomah.
Khan, Brother Yashralı.
How are y'all?
Khan, man. We want to say Shabbat Shalom to everybody tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Keeping the Sabbath day holy. Mighty Shalom to all the brothers that labor, teach this word, and edify the people in hopes of sealing the elect. Mighty Shalom to you sisters out there that's playing your specific role in righteousness, and all of the young ones and the little ones out there that are glorifying the Most High through His Son of Mashiach Yahushua, man. So we got a lesson for you. It's called "Don't Waver When Mighty Men Fall." You know what I'm saying? It's all par for the course. You know what I'm saying? So these things were, it's bound to happen. So without further ado, we're gonna go right into it. Brother's gonna pull out, multiple examples throughout the precepts, and hopefully will stir your spirit, everybody's spirit, to, examine themselves in this truth, and whether you be in the faith. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that first. I'm gonna go to 2 Corinthians chapter 13. So because it's important for us to examine ourselves. And that's a sure way of solidifying your position with the Most High. You know what I'm saying? So this is 2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 5. Examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Jesus Christ is in you, except ye be reprobates. Right? But I trust that ye shall know that we are not reprobates. Right? So Paul says you got to examine yourselves. You know what I'm saying? You have to, be honest with yourself in a sense. You got to look at everything that you're doing. Have you been praying enough? Have you been fasting enough? Have you been brotherly? Have you been sisterly? Have you been doing all of your specific duties in this truth? You know what I'm saying? If you see that you've been slack on anything, then, hey, that's a sure sign that you need to tighten up, man. You know what I'm saying? So examining yourself is important, right? Let me get it one more on that. I'm going to go to Sirach chapter 18, right? I want to say it's 18. It might be chapter 20. So Sirach chapter 18 and verse 20. And it says, before judgment, examine thyself, and in the day of visitation, thou shalt find mercy. Right? Because the Most High is going to look at it. He's going to look at if you have been making a diligent investigation of your own self, of your own ways, of your own thoughts. Are you constantly killing the old man? Are you constantly renewing yourself? You know what I'm saying? Because that's what this battle is. You know what I'm saying? It's a renewing of your mind, like it talks about in Romans chapter 12. You know what I'm saying? Romans chapter 12 and verse 2. So it's a renewing of your mind, right? I'm going to read it one more time. Before judgment, examine thyself, and in the day of visitation, thou shalt find mercy. That was pretty much it on that, right? So, and the Most High is going to visit you. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is going to visit you, and He'll visit you in a number of ways. Some brothers get instant judgment because it said judgment is going to come, and it says the Most High is going to visit you. You know what I'm saying? Others, the Most High will allow you to, rack up, a certain amount of transgressions against Him before He sends you a hefty penalty, a hefty judgment. You know what I'm saying? So it's best to constantly, kill that flesh and kill that old man. But brothers got it.
Yes,
Yeah, Khan. Yeah, it's all about not wavering. Staying in the spirit as much as possible, like the Occupants get into. There's a lot of deception going on. A lot of it's just so much. It's so much evil, and a lot of it stems from the internet. Social media. A lot of men. You got even some men of the Lord. They take advice from the counsel of the ungodly. You know what I'm saying? Like you got these different. You got these different shows, these different podcasts. They got wisdom, but it's not the wisdom of the Lord at the end of the day. All right, so we don't want to waver, and some of the ways to waver your faith is, kind of getting into, kind of being too addicted over social media. I mean, you just want to watch your spirit on all fronts and all levels. So
Yeah.
a perfect example is Abraham. Abraham did not waver, you know, in the times where he had to give his wife up, you know, and he didn't waver. In the times where, you know, he had to leave a establishment, he had to leave his father's house and find a place that his whole family didn't even know about. But he did not waver. Right? This is the book of Romans, chapter 4, and verse 19. And being not weak in faith, he considered not his own body now dead when he was about 100 years old, neither yet the deadness of Sarah's womb. He wavered not at the promise of God through unbelief, but was strong in faith, giving glory to Yahweh. Right? So, I mean, you could be weak in the spirit, or you could be weak in the flesh. Your body will feel like it's deteriorating, just doing all this heavy labor, heavy work. Hey, but your spirit supposed to be strong, man. Like Abraham, our mighty forefather, spirit was so strong, even in the deadness of his body. And he was just as powerful and just as strong based upon his faith, which caused him not to waver, man. All right. There was times he went to war for to capture Lot back and all his possessions. And this is the man of the Lord, man. But yet he was granted righteousness based off his faith, man. He about to give up his son to be crucified. All right. So when you look at all these examples and testimonies of our mighty forefathers and foremothers, you should look back and mirror that, because this is how we supposed to move. We supposed to move in the spirit of our righteous ancestors, man. And they moved in that. They didn't waver at all. There was no wavering when they moved in the spirit. All right. So I yield with that.
Yeah, Con. Yeah, I had some on that real quick to add on to what the brothers are saying. It's like, if we see mighty men, and again, what is the definition of mighty men in the scriptures? Right? It doesn't just always have to be the most prominent leader in Israel, man, to be a mighty man. Just because if you've been in the truth for 9 months, I'm not a mighty man, right? So you mean to tell me this brother has been in the truth for 9 years, but you've been in the truth only for 9 months? You're not mighty. Hey, as long as you're in this truth, professing the name Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, you're mighty on a certain level, right? Because everyone's been given talent. So, mighty men, we really is harping on the leaders, the prominent men in Israel, but it's not always them. We see men all the time. Hey, they fall out, right? They fall out the truth. They stop coming to camp, whatever the case may be, right? And so the point of the video is to showcase, hey, guess what? As the brother is saying, examine ourselves, and then also look at the examples of the mighty men that seen these other mighty men fall and still yet kept their integrity, still yet pushed towards the mark, right? I'm gonna get this precept real quick in the book of Philippians, right? This book of Philippians chapter 3, right? Verse number, let me see here. Hey, verse number 12, right? It says, not as though I had already attained, either were already perfect, but I follow after, if that I may apprehend that for which also I am apprehended of Hamashiach Yahweh Shah. So he said, hey, Paul said, look, I'm not perfect yet, man. You know what I mean? But I'm striving to attain that perfection, right? It says what? That I may apprehend that may take hold of what? For which also I am apprehended of Hamashiach Yahweh Shah. Paul was in prison when he wrote this letter, man. So he said, I want to capture the same thing I'm being captured for, right? Which is what? The striving to perfection, right? Now watch this. I'm gonna skip down to the point. Verse number, let me see here. 14, I press toward the mark. So Paul said, nevertheless, through all these things, he's still pressing toward the mark. It says, for the price of the high calling of the Most High and Hamashiach Yahushua, let us therefore, as many as be perfect, be thus minded. And if any other thing ye be otherwise minded, God shall reveal even this unto you. Nevertheless, whereto we have already attained, let us walk by the same rule, let us mind the same thing. Right? It says, brethren, be followers together of me, and mark them which walk so, as ye have us for an example. Here's the point. For many walk, of whom I have told you often, and now tell you even weeping, that they are the enemies of the cross of Mashiach, whose end is destruction, whose God is their belly, and whose glory is in their shame, who mind earthly things. You see that? So he said some have already turned aside, right? They're the enemies of the cross of Christ now. But nevertheless, keep on your path. That's what Paul was saying. Hey, even through all those things, I press toward the mark. Right? Their conversation is about earthly things. Our conversation is about heaven. Right? That's what he was saying right there. Right? But brothers got it.
No doubt. I mean, I like that point about the mighty men. Because I'm sure, all of us have our testimonies as far as when we came into the truth. I myself, it's been 9 years. I would say it's like 2016 that I woke up. So brothers, I believe is what, around the same time, maybe 8 years.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I came in like kind of late 2018. So that's
Okay.
about, 7 maybe.
Yeah.
6, 7.
You are around that same time, right?
Mm.
God, I mean, so brothers, we've seen our fair share of brothers fall out of this truth. You know what I'm saying? Brothers that were, high in the spirit at one point in time. Brothers was making songs, you know what I'm saying? Mighty sisters coming in dressing modest, you know what I'm saying?
Documentaries.
Yeah, making documentaries, not giving into the pressures of the world, for what it seemed to be, you know what I'm saying? But eventually they fall by the wayside, whether it be, brothers got, weak in the flesh overpowered them.
Right.
Some brothers give into the lust and desire of the worldly women. Some brothers, give into, some Eve's give into the opportunities of this world. You know what I'm saying? Eve come in, beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she's now wearing modest apparel, but she's still getting offers for modeling contracts and modeling agencies, and you know what I'm saying, and whatever photo shoots and all of the madness that comes with being in this world and on social media. You know what I'm saying? So it's so many things that tempt our people to lead, and then some people will get to the point of they're living a double life. You know what I'm saying? And it's truth. They'll portray themselves one way in the public and in the eyes of men, but secretly they live, what they've always wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? Or, what they struggle with. You know what I'm saying? So, and we see that in the scripture. So I'm gonna get this precept. I may as well start with, let me get this first right here. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 4, because again, in going into the spirit, the Most High can strip his Holy Spirit from you. You know what I'm saying? And you can still be very much thinking that you're in this truth. But the Most High, when the Most High strips his spirit from it, you're not going to know. He's not going to give you a heads up. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to send an angel and tell him, hey, look, I'm taking the spirit from you on this day at this time. You know what I'm saying? So some brothers is of the mindset that they're still operating in the spirit of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? But the Most High stripped it from them a long time ago. And we call those what? Seasonal Israelites. Some people are here just for a season. Some people are here for 10 seasons, 10 winters and 10 summers. You know what I'm saying? And the Most High take them out. But it's all up to the Most High at the end of the day. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 4. I'm going to get to the point. Verse 5. For the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit and remove from thoughts that are without understanding, and will not abide when unrighteousness cometh in. Right? So the Most High said, if you are operating deceptively in a deceptive spirit, and you're kind of being double-minded in this truth, you're on one hand portraying yourself to be righteous in this truth, walking in the faith, and on the other hand, you know what I'm saying, you MC such and such, you know what I'm saying, or whatever you want to be. You know, the Most High said his spirit will flee deceit. You know what I'm saying? And one more time on that last part, and remove from thoughts that are without understanding, and will not abide when unrighteousness cometh in. Now, one of the perfect examples that we have of that is King Saul. King Saul came into this thing, you know, mightily, really. You know, he was he was a tall brother. You know what I'm saying? He had everything going for himself, you know, that would make him seem like he is the perfect fit to be the king over the nation. But the Most High saw him not fit to be the king. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get this right quick in 1 Kings chapter 16. And I'm gonna get I want to start at verse 14, right? So and it reads, oh no, I'm sorry, Salakia, 1 Samuel, that's what I wanted. 1 Samuel chapter 16 and verse 14. And it reads, bear with me. Verse 14. But the spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Lord troubled him. Right? So the Most High stripped Saul's spirit, right? And I'm gonna read up just for context sake, right? So I'm gonna start at verse 12. It says, and he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy and withal of a beautiful countenance and goodly to look to. And the Lord said, arise, anoint him, for this is he. Then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brethren, right? And this is talking about King David. The Most High had already been looking for a replacement for Saul. That's how deep the Most High will operate in the spirit. He already knows who your replacement is going to be before it takes place. You know what I'm saying? So this is how the Most High, moves his chessboard, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Saul, you're gonna fall, and I got somebody in your stead who's going to be more anointed than you. You know what I'm saying? It even got to the point where David had to tell Saul's daughter, you know what I'm saying? Hey, the Most High chose me over your father. You know what I'm saying? So the Most High, if he don't want you, he don't need you. He needs nobody, none of us.
Right.
We can speak his truth today and gone tomorrow.
Right.
You know you got Ken, go ahead.
Nah, it just remind me of like I think it was like a year ago when a brother from the camp, that he was rocking with us for a little bit, a cool minute, and the Lord brought his replacement with him. He invited another brother, and that brother's still with us today.
Right.
And he ain't. And that just show you like, the Most High, he got your replacement. Probably you probably taking, or you probably going to the camp with a whole nother brother that he probably just met.
Yeah.
And the Lord already set up a replacement for you.
Yeah.
Refused to.
That was mighty.
Mighty spirit, man.
Yeah, man. He brought the brother's replacement, and in that same day, the brother fell out with
same day.
And the other brother stayed. And the other brother, even in the midst of seeing that right before his eyes on his first day, he even looked at the brother and said, hey, man, you're going off, man. You're wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, that's how the Most High move, man. It's cold how he do it, too. We seen that same brother come back all lumped up and swollen and everything. You know what I'm saying? Spirit completely gone. Brother acknowledged, hey, man, I done went to the massage parlors about 3 times, man, and got a happy ending.
Happy ending.
Hey, the Most High the Most High will drag you. He will drag you that damn far, man. So, hey, look, if place of repentance is still open for you, you got to take it while you have it. You know what I'm saying? We can't play around in this truth, right? So, because the Most High will give you back to your own vomit, right? But going back in 1 Samuel chapter 16, it says, verse 13 again, then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brethren. And the Spirit of the Lord came upon David. And from that day forward, so Samuel rose up and went to Ramah. But the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and an evil spirit and an evil spirit from the Lord troubled him. And Saul's servant said unto him, behold, now an evil spirit from God troubleth thee. Right? So his servants was able to see and bear witness to the fact that, hey, look, he had an evil spirit upon him now. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because he had a hatred towards David. You know what I'm saying? He seen that the Most High was exalting David into being the king. And, you know, a brother being in that position, you know, some brothers don't want to lose that. You know what I'm saying? They will go to extreme lengths to make sure that they don't lose the position that they have in this truth or in anything. You know what I'm saying? Some brothers just, if they can't be the ruler, they can't be the king, they'll bring the whole thing down, man. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna try everything in their power. I'm gonna bring, you know, my establishment down, or I'm gonna bring everybody down, man. You know what I'm saying? You said you had something, Yasharala?
Yeah. Just that they remind me of a quick precept in First Kings chapter 1, verse number 5. Because you know, at this time, King David was very old, you know, waxing old and you know, near his death. And you know, everyone knew that David already knew who would come after him, which would be Solomon,
Right.
out of all his sons. But let me just read this real quick, and brothers got it. First Kings chapter 1, verse number 5. It says, then Adonijah, right, the son, and Adonijah, when you go into that word, or it's like that name, if I'm not mistaken, Adonai, meaning my Lord, is Yahweh, right? Or Yahweh is my Lord. So even look, you could be a mighty, it's like you could have the mightiest name in Israel, man. You know, you could lift up yourself with the mightiest name in Israel and proclaim yourself king, proclaim yourself this and the third, put a magnificent title on yourself, man, like Adonijah did, right? It says Adonijah, the son of Haggith, exalted himself, right? So you never, we don't want to exalt ourselves, man. The Bible clearly is against that. It says, saying, I will be king. And he prepared him chariots and horsemen and 50 men to run before him. So not only did he get chariots, horsemen, he had 50 men to ride with him, man. You know what I mean? To be king. But yeah, come on, brothers got it.
No, it's big too, man. He's kind of putting on a show.
Right.
You know for men. You know what I'm saying? That he was this mighty warrior and or king, you know what I'm saying? And he should be treated as such.
Right.
You know, so I'm gonna get another example right quick before I jump back to Saul. I'm gonna go to Judges real fast because we know about the story of Samson. We know that he he failed because of his lust and desire for women. And more notably, what was it? The Canaanite woman. You know what I'm saying? The woman that, you know, we were commanded not to deal with as a people. You know what I'm saying? So he got his warning from his parents. His parents like, hey, man, you know, of all the daughters of Zion, you want to get with a Canaanite woman? Say, hey, you know, Father, get her from me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, so, you know, and that's how a lot of brothers are in this truth, man. You know, that have wavered and that have failed. But you know, all praise to the Most High that some brothers can acknowledge that fault and falling to the lust for women. You know what I'm saying, and or making decisions based off of a woman and chasing after her. You know what I'm saying. So, you know, and you have a chance to correct that. You know, but some brothers don't. They go off the deep end, man. You know what I'm saying, and you know, and come on, they'll start. You know, hey, look. You know, your girl ain't as pretty as mine. Let's go girl for girl right now, man. You know what I'm saying? Some brothers will do that.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? That's completely off, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, like the brother Yakar would say, where is that in the scriptures? You know what I'm saying? Nobody does that, man. You know what I'm saying? Why are you doing that? Why are you bringing that into this truth, right? So this is in the book of Judges, chapter 16. And that's what I want. Judges chapter 16. And I'm going to start I'm going to keep dropping down, right? So yeah, I'm going to start at verse 6. It says, and Delilah said to Samson, tell me, I pray thee, wherein thy great strength lieth, and wherewith thou mightest be bound to afflict thee, right? So, you know, in the scriptures tell us not to be, in a lack for a better term, not to be pillow talking, you know what I'm saying, with Eve or with women in general, man. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to tell them every single detail about your life or about you. You know what I'm saying? About your past and all that. Some things needs to just be kept to yourself. You know what I'm saying? I believe that's Micah, what is that, 7 that talks about that? You know,
Yeah, I got it.
yeah, kind of.
Yeah, this is the book of Micah, chapter 7, verse number where's that at? Yeah, was it 5? Yeah, Micah 7 and 5. It says, "Trust ye not in a friend, put ye not confidence in a guide. Keep the doors of thy mouth from her that lieth in thy bosom."
Right. That lieth close to thee, man. You know what I'm saying? Get up under thee, man. Tell me where you get your all your power from, man.
Right.
All this magical wisdom, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, she getting all up under you. You know. I do what I can. You know what I'm saying? Jake just getting all buttered up. Hey, man, you got to put that spirit off from you, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and obviously, this is what Samson gave himself over unto, right? I'm going to keep going, though. Verse 7. And Samson said unto her, if they bind me with 7 green withs that were never dried, then shall I be weak and be as another man. So he, kind of still pillow talking and going around about, telling little white lies to her. You know what I'm saying? But verse 8, it says, then the lords of the Philistines brought up to her 7 green withs, which had not been dried, and she bound him with them. So, but nonetheless, he tells her a few things that wasn't the truth. And, they attempted to, restrain him, and they weren't able to. He killed plenty of them. So it got to the point where he just got weak for it. You know what I'm saying? She buckled him at some point. Hey, look, man, you don't really love me like that. You know what I'm saying? Who knows what else she said? Hey, look, Samson, I know you love us Canaanite women. You ain't getting no more of this. You know what I'm saying? That's what who knows what she said to Samson, man. I'm gonna drop down. I'm gonna drop down to verse 17. It says, no, I'm gonna start at 16. It says, and it came to pass when she pressed him daily with her words and urged him so that his soul was vexed unto death. Hey, look, some ease will take you there. Unto death. That's how vexed he was. I mean, what you got to be saying in that moment? You know what I'm saying? We really don't know. But the brother was like, man, and look, some of us probably didn't been there with Eve before. You know what I'm saying? I can say I have for sure. You know what I'm saying? So, but verse 17, that he told her all his heart and said unto her, there hath not come a razor upon mine head, for I have been a Nazarite unto God from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak and be like other men. And when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, and I mean, and on the and in the worldly vernacular, they'll say you're game goofy. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't no way in hell you see her, she's lining you up to get, you know what I'm saying, for some other dudes to come set you up and bound you and bind you. You know what I'm saying? But you give up to the point he should have been cut her off. After the first time, some niggas then came after him. You know what I'm saying?
How many records you heard? How many times we heard this actually today?
Right.
In real time.
Yeah, man.
Same situation we heard in real time today.
Yeah. I mean, look at the Pop Smoke incident.
Yep.
Now, I don't think the woman got charged with anything, but she was the one that was there with him while he was, quote unquote, about to take a shower or in the bathroom taking a shower, and then some dudes come in there, and eventually he gets killed. That was a pure setup right there, man. Ain't no way around that. You know what I'm saying? Anybody with 2 eyes can see that. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah. Us game goofy. You got it, King.
I got a quick precept on that because and that's why the Bible talks explicitly about watching out for the strange women, right? Because in Proverbs chapter 7, verse number 4, it says, say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman. Because when you moving in the spirit of pride, that disannuls the Lord's wisdom. You know what I mean? So that spirit of pride, that's all you see. You don't see the Lord wisdom anymore. You know what I mean? So that's also another spirit that the brother was Samson was moving in. He had that spirit of pride, and also you could say that too. what you say, gang goofy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The goofy spirit on them too, right?
Right.
So those two spirits equals what? You know, because when I read the account of Samson in Judges 16, it's more so like, okay, he's blinded by his love for this woman. He's blinded by also his pride and his overconfidence. Because ever
Right.
since he was young, he's had this power, this strength. You know what I mean? So he's like, I can never lose this. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I'll go out as before, as he says later in this
Yeah,
chapter.
kind of like an entitlement spirit.
Yeah, like in
Mhm.
entitled spirit. So it's like, hey, hey, let him come, shit, and that's Jake, right? Hey, let Jake get some superpower, man, right? He's gonna be like damn Hancock, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so like just skipping down, and I'll pass it back to the brother. Um, just two verses, verse 5, that they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger which flattereth from her words. Skipping down, with much fair speech she caused him to yield, with the flattering of her lips she forced him. So you gotta be careful with these strange women, man, because with her lips, her what she says and speaks to you, right, and does, she can cause a brother to yield and to force him to do what you want, man. You know. So
God.
yeah,
God, real quick. I mean, because I remember finished the precept in Judges, but I remember I seen this earlier today, and it's a young boy. He's a teenager. He said he had his first heartbreak, but this is what he did, and I think a relative walked in on him, seen him, what he was doing to himself. So Salakia, it's probably gonna take a second. I probably have to play it a couple of times. So 1 second. Why you do that, bro? It's a little ridiculous. Hold up. So I'm gonna explain it. Why you do that, bro? It's a little ridiculous. So the relative walked in on him. This dude doused himself in some a gallon of milk and sitting there crying with snot bubbles coming out. I guess over some girl that he then broke his damn heart, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, now he's a teenage kid, in the world.
No,
So it's some
ain't no
learning
excuse.
curve. But I'll say this: I ain't never did nothing like that in my life.
That's how. No, I ain't a teenager.
But hey, whether that was his uncle, his brother, older brother, whatever, he had to tell him, "Hey, look, man, you look stupid."
Yeah.
Come in there and
yeah,
check him, man. Hey, he
right.
had to get his mind right. So, but like the brother said, some brothers become blinded with off of love or lust. You know what I'm saying? But they're burned with that. You know what I'm saying? And again, some brothers in this truth, they fall to the temptation of the worldly women, man. Some of them just like the quote unquote baddies in the world, the BBL baddies. You know, yeah, something already up.
Yeah, Khan, and Solomon had that same addiction and
Yeah,
problem because at the end of the day, Solomon was a mighty, king, man. Now, and he basically built the temple. You know, he had wisdom beyond this earth.
yeah.
He had all of it, but yet his weakness, his kryptonite was the strange woman, man, because it was causing him to go astray based off their influence. He wasn't getting influenced, he wasn't influenced them.
Oh man, is your brother? Is he messing up on your end?
Yeah.
Okay, so they get their connection together. I'm gonna finish up in Judges real fast. Uh, so Judges 16 and verse 18. And when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the lords of the Philistines, saying, "Come up this once, for he hath showed me all his heart." Then the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and brought money into their hand. And she made him sleep upon her knees. And she called for a man, and she caused him to shave off the 7 locks of his head. And she began to afflict him. and his strength went from him. And she said, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. Oh, that's a lot. Yeah. And she said, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awoke out of his sleep and said, I will go out as at other times before and shake myself. And he wist not that the Lord was departed from him. Right. So it got to the point where, Samson kind of walked in the spirit of pride, thinking that, he was always going to have this strength, what I'm
Yeah.
saying, to be able to fight off his enemies. But, and it said that he wist not that the Most High was departed from him. So you can be operating in this truth, doing your, things that you are accustomed to doing. You're going out to camp every Saturday. You know what I'm saying? You might even pull up the sword at your usual time, maybe Friday night. That's your only time to be able to study. You might get in, maybe 30 minutes worth of reading, go to camp Saturday. You know what I'm saying? You might do a couple prayers, what I'm saying, every single day. But, for something that you did, maybe just a week prior, something that you did some months ago, what I'm saying, the Most High had been departed from you, man. And you wist not that the Most High had left you. You know what I'm saying? Didn't know the Most High was gone. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, that's just a mighty example that brothers got to look at. You know what I'm saying? And making sure that you are examining yourself, right? But I know you want to go back into Solomon, Ariel.
Yeah, Khan. Salaam too. This is First Kings chapter 11 and verse 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women together with the daughters of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go in unto them, neither shall they come in unto you. For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon cleaved unto these in love. Right? So Solomon whole mind frame, after he asked for wisdom to discern his people from good and evil, and the evil came upon him that he couldn't even discern. He couldn't discern evil that was in his house. Why? Because he allowed himself not to discern it, man. You got mighty men that will allow themselves not to discern it because their pleasure supersedes their reasoning and logic and the spiritual wisdom that the Most High blessed them with, right? Because, people got, sometimes your taste bugs for the world start to rise back up. And you know what those taste bugs is? That's that old man calling you back, man. It's why when we get in Paul made a mighty statement that a lot of people kind of run over, man. Let's bring that out. Let's go to Galatians chapter 6. It's the book of Galatians, chapter 6, and verse 14. It says, but Yahweh forbid that I should glory except in the cross of our Lord of Mashiach Yahushua, by whom the world is crucified unto me, and I unto the world. Right? And hey, Paul, he say, man, I'm dead to the world, and the world dead to me, man. We don't have no connection, no association. Whenever I deal with the world, or whenever, my desires is different than the world desires, because your desire is going to line up with the Most High, and the world desire is going to line up with the world's program, which is contrary to one another. So Paul said, hey, look, man, I got scars on my back. I've been through hell and back, but I am dead to the world and the world dead to me. I have no connection with it, right? And when you have that type of spirit, that's a spirit of discipline, man. Something that brothers all in the truth, every brother in the truth need, the spirit of discipline. As a brother got into Wisdom of Solomon, the spirit of discipline makes deceit flee. So if Solomon had discipline in his own realm and used discernment the way he was supposed to use it in that situation, which his situation, he shouldn't just got rid of them women, man. To be honest, because they was all gonna leave, which they did. They was all gonna leave a king of Israel to idolatry, man. All right, and there's different forms of idolatry. And before he started worshiping the other gods, he was worshiping his strange women, man. All right, so I hear with that.
Yeah, I had a quick point on that too. The brother was saying, right? Discretion, the spirit of discretion, right? You're not listen, like you can't have the spirit of discretion in its totality and also walk in the same spirit of pride that the brother Samson walked in towards the latter end of his life, in Judges the 16th chapter, because those two spirits don't go together. It doesn't mix. It's like oil and water. It doesn't mix together, man. Right? So if we're overly confident, we're walking in that prideful spirit. I'm gonna get this precept in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse number 22. For wisdom, which is the worker of all things, taught me. For in her is an understanding spirit, holy, one only, manifold, subtle, lively, clear, undefiled, plain, not subject to hurt, loving the thing that is good, quick, which cannot be letted, ready to do good, kind to man, steadfast, sure, free from care, having all power, overseeing all things, and going through all understanding, pure and most subtle spirits. You see that? So that's the spirit of wisdom, man, in its totality, right? I'm gonna link that up with what Proverbs, the first chapter, verse number says 5. It says, a wise man will hear. Oh, so like I'm verse 4, to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. You see that? So we all need that knowledge and that discretion. When you look up that word discretion, it means to what? To discern between what? Well, in this case, spirits. So, for example, you have a brother that lacks total discretion. Brother, this woman in the world is going to get you to X, Y, and Z, right? You can't see that, right? You can't see how this woman is operating. You can't see how this woman is entrapping you, ensnaring you, right? Walking you down a path of hell. That now you talking about I'm over polygamous relationships. I'm over it. Yeah. Right? Well, brother, what got you in that position, brother? Nobody told you to go get get with this woman, get this woman, but it's that lack of discernment, and again, the spirit of pride overshadowing that spirit of discernment, man. If you are cautious and humble and walking in humility each and every day, you're gonna say, okay, boom, that's Satan right there, right? Oh yeah, this girl hit me up talking about let's do a Bible study at 2 o'clock in the morning. Hey, just bring your you don't even have to bring your Bible. Just come over. We're gonna do a Bible study. Yeah. This woman is hitting you up at 2 o'clock in the morning talking about Bible study. Oh, okay, yeah, well, yeah, let's go.
Right. Let's go to John 3:16.
John 3:16. Yeah. He said, hey, brother, can I get a breakdown? Can you break down this precept mightily, please? Yeah. Right. 2 o'clock in the morning, brother. Are you finna go over there? Right? No, hey, man. No. Yeah. But hey, some brothers that may lack that discernment may go over there, and some brothers know what it is, what type of time that is, man. Right? You know what type of time that is.
She want to know about Proverbs 5:19. What does it mean when it says, "Let her breast satisfy thee at all times"? She wants to know. 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Right. Well, what is Song of Solomon, the 2nd chapter, talks about that? She eats the fruit. Right. From the
man. Yeah. So you got it. Yeah.
Right. And that just shows you, people can twist the word any which way.
Yeah.
To for their lust and desires of whatever they trying to get out of people, because there's a lot of people that use the word for their own gain, their own benefit, man.
Yeah.
You got some people, they use the word for money. Some people, they use the word you know, to have a status in this earth. You know, a lot of people use the word for many various things, but like the Akim was going into, hey, you're gonna need discernment, man. You're gonna need discernment. If you see a brother in front of you that you've been that helped you grow into this truth, and then he falls off. Hey, do
Right.
you fall off? Did David fall off when Saul, King Saul, you know, was falling off? Absolutely not, man. But David still would have respect for the man. But as far as wisdom goes, he said, hey, I'm going the other way, man.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know,
Perfect
hey,
example.
Moses died. Hey, Joshua stood up. You know, and he was just as mighty when he came into the scene, man.
Yep.
Take what you get from whoever, because it was the Most High that was using individuals for specific moments, times, and seasons, like the brother was getting into, to utilize and to grow your spirit up, so you can now be that man, and you know, and now you have an example of what to do and what not to do. Those two examples has been laid upon you before you, so you can know. Okay, well, the brother that raised me up, you know, he failed. I see how he failed. Let me go ahead and not do it that way. Let me
Mm.
not speed. Let me not speed up this process that the Lord got me in right now. You know, and that's another thing. A lot of brothers want to speed the process up, man. Hey, man, let it cook, man. Let it marinate. Let the scriptures marinate in your spirit. You know, pray, fast. You know, these simple things. Because if you look at Solomon, like we was going into, look what Solomon said to the Lord, man. This was the most wisest thing to say. This is 1 Kings chapter 3 and verse 8. And thy servant is in the midst of the people which thou hast chosen, a great people that cannot be numbered nor counted for multitude. Give therefore thy servant a understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this? For who is able to judge this thy so great a people? Right. So he told the Lord, hey, give me wisdom so I can discern good from evil. But how in the world, and this shows you, you can be a genius in the scriptures and breaking in the scriptures down, but you know, when it comes to just practical living and obedience, hey man, you damn near retarded, man. You
Yeah.
illiterate in that practice. I mean, that's just what it is, man. There's certain areas you probably not an expert at. That's okay. Humble yourself in that area, and the Most High will exalt that area, man. But
Right.
I think that's one of the major things, bro. Like, 'cause you can literally have wisdom like Solomon. Hey, Solomon wrote the book of Proverbs, Songs of Solomon. You know, there's all these mighty books, Proverbs that hey Solomon was just sitting on his throne and just, you know, just write these magnificent letters. But yet he was lacking, and his lack was based upon, you know, not applying the wisdom that he had, man. You know, in other areas that he probably was weak at. So there's the areas that you're weak at. That's pray. Tell the Most High, pray to the Most High to put wisdom in that weak area, man. You know, because we all got thorns in our flesh, you know, in different ways, and the only way, and the Lord, he ain't about to take that thorn out. All he gonna do is, you know, teach us how to walk with it, you know, and that keeps us humble through the Spirit, man. You know, like Paul was getting into 2 Corinthians chapter 12. You know, so I hear with that.
Gone. You know, so at the end of the day, I mean, the Most High could put a spirit of delusion upon you, man. Let me get that right quick in Isaiah 66. You know, so I mean, again, you could think that you're operating firmly in this truth and that your position is solidified. You could, you know, even alter your your idea of what it means to be in this truth. But you know, there's no changing, you know, how the truth is supposed to be. You can't fit the truth into your life. You
Yeah,
have to fit into this truth.
that's right.
You know what I'm saying? So you know, brothers thinking that they're gonna try to tweak it and then, you know, try to because you know you kind of been sifted out of this thing, you know, now you know you have to kind of, you know, tear the truth down to some extent. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put some type of stain or black eye on, you know, because you weren't able to stand firm in this thing. You know what I'm saying? So brothers got to be mindful of that, right? But this is Isaiah 66 in verse 4, and it says, I also will choose their delusions and will bring their fears upon them, because when I called, none did answer. And it's not like brothers, I'm sure brothers have received correction, have received rebuke, you know what I'm saying, for various things that brothers did. Some brothers get those warnings before they fall out, you know, but for whatever reason, you know, pride, you know, sticketh to them, and you know, they kind of refuse, you know, to hearken. You know what I'm saying? And that goes into the spirit of Rehoboam, you know, who refused to hearken unto the elders and decided to listen to, you know, what his so-called peers, right? You
Yeah.
know, that's what that spirit is going into. You refusing to hearken unto wisdom. Brothers that have been here before you have experience, you know what I'm saying, and that are, you know, pretty much your personal libraries for you to go to for information and guidance, but you refuse to hearken unto them, right? So again, it says, verse 4, I also will choose their delusions and will bring their fears upon them, because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. But they did evil before mine eyes and chose that which I delighted not. Right. So, you know, a lot of brothers choose that which the Most High has no delight in. You know what I'm saying? He has no delight for you to be in this world. You know what I'm saying? We all know the famous and infamous classic precept, or you know, famous precept, 1 John 2 and 15. Love not the world. You know what I'm saying? For he that loveth the world, the love of the Father is not in him, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't have no camaraderie with this world whatsoever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't, you know, as a matter of fact, let me get this precept right quick. This is First Corinthians chapter 10, and this is verse 20, I think. Right, it says, but I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to God. And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils. Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. You cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils. Right? So you can't play both sides of the fence. It's either you in this thing, you on fire, your candlestick is burning, or you know, you out, man. You know what I'm saying? That's playing upon tables, man. Stop flip-flopping, man. You know what I'm saying? Like John Witherspoon said in the movie Vampire in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? He said and I won't, you can just watch it on your own time. But he just said stop flip-flopping, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but you got something already?
Yeah, God. Yeah, I'm gonna go to 1 Kings chapter 18 real quick. Let me see, get straight to the point. All right, it's 1 Kings chapter 18. God.
Shabbat Shalom to everybody online too, man.
Shalom, shalom.
Judy.
22. Well, so like I'll start at 21 and work my way down. This is 1 Kings chapter 18 and verse 21. And Elijah came unto all the people and said, How long have you between two options? If the Lord be Yahweh, follow him. But if Baal, then follow him. And the people answered him not a word. Right? And the people was stagnant, man. The people was when the prophet Elijah spoke that word and said, look, you only got
two opinions, or two options. You either follow Baal or you follow the Most High, man. Ain't no in between. You can't mix the two. And you know, there's throughout history, like the brother was getting to with Paul in the time of Paul in the churches. And they were trying to mix Baal with Yahweh, man. It don't work, man. It don't mix.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And likewise, you see it in the time of the prophet Elijah, where he's between the false prophets, 400 false prophets that sit up on the Jezebel table, and him himself, by himself, representing the Lord, man. And the people just, hey, the Bible said the people said nothing. They didn't have a word because they didn't know. They didn't know, and that's a spirit, because if you don't got discernment in these last days, you're not going to know good from evil, man. Everything looks the same. You know what I'm saying? There's his brother, brother General Assad, or was it General?
Sure.
Yes, yeah.
Hashar.
Yeah, General Assad, man. He got a song. Well, it's one of his members, but he said, don't know if I'm in Babylon or I'm in hell. And the way he said, I couldn't tell. Like you're not gonna tell between good and evil, because there's so much good and evil all through this earth that you can't discern this from good and evil. You gotta know what the Lord said. You gotta your eyes you have to view the world through the Bible. And when you view the world through the Bible, then you can see even that what you think is good is evil. You know, and that which is evil, man. But that which is good, you're gonna see it because you're gonna look through the lens of the scriptures, man. You supposed to dissect everything by the way of the scriptures, right? Let me finish this verse. It says, then said Elijah unto the people, even I only remained a prophet of the Lord, but Baal prophets are 450 men. Skip down, verse 30. It says, Elijah said to the people, come near unto me. And all the people came near, and he repaired the altar of the Lord that was broken down. And Elijah took 12 stones according to the number of the 12 tribes of the sons of Jacob, unto whom the word of the Lord came, saying, Israel shall be thy name. Right? Hey, Elijah, he restored the old altars, man. That's us in this truth, man. We're restoring the old altar that's been broken down, and damn idols has been placed on those broken altars, man. We moved those altars by the breaking down the word, breaking down the scriptures, right? Confounding the wise out there in the streets, right? And Israel sits back just like at this time and say nothing, just look, because they're trying to see who got the power. And what Elijah say, hey, man, the Most High answers by fire, man. The Lord, and Hebrews chapter 13 says that the Most High is a consuming fire. All right, so our power is going to answer by power. And we see that by us being awakened to this truth, man. It's a mighty thing. It's not to be, this truth, for us to wake up in this truth is not to be taken lightly, man, or for granted. Through the spirit. I hear with that.
Yeah, the quick point on that too, what the brothers are saying is like, you know, one thing that I've noticed with certain prominent brothers in this truth is that now they're seeing the toxicity, so-called, that's not a word in the Bible, but you'll use it, right? Toxicity, or the toxicness, or whatever the case may be, whatever you want to call it. All right. The behavior of certain Israelites in the so-called Israelite community, right? Via what? I mean, it's really Facebook, right? It's really Facebook, Instagram, social media. That's why social media is a double-edged sword, man, right? Because you got good things which you can share the word, you can connect with brothers, you can connect with sisters. This is a mighty thing. On the flip side, on the inside of that, you have a lot of beef, a lot of strife, a lot of contention, a lot of gainsaying. Hey, to quote the brother Ratazan of Bell, he made that little video about the bullying of it in Israel. You know what I mean? So you have that on social media as well. If we didn't have social media, it wouldn't be any of this, man. Right? All of this, you know, this gainsaying, this bullying, this people just talking crazy on the internet, man. You know what I mean?
Famous.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? You say one comment, just I think, you know, you share your opinion on a recent debate, and there's a whole paragraph. It just people just railing on you, man. You know what I mean? On your comment. Hey, you know, so hey, so you know, and so the point is, we have brothers now saying, "I'm not associated with the community. I don't like the community. I'm not dealing with y'all." But it kind of struck me when the brother Shalom was talking about it earlier in this video. He was mentioning about how, hey, guess what? Because this is what I came to the conclusion of. Like 50 to 60% of this truth is about the community, right? Just think about it. How many precepts in the Bible does it talk about loving your neighbor, right? Does it talk about being a sacrifice, just like how Yahweh Shah was? Literally, almost all the epistles of Paul talks about being selfless for the what? For the church, which will be the body of Israel. So yes, at the same time, this is your walk, but at the same time, on the flip end of that, Moses had to deal with the children of Israel face to face every single day for 40 years in the wilderness, man. Now you have brothers in the truth talking about 10 years in the truth, talking about I'm not dealing with community no more, right? When 50% of this truth roughly is about dealing with the people. You know what I mean? So yeah, but I just want to, you know, point that out real quick. But yeah,
absolutely. I mean, but again, I mean, that kind of goes off into, you know, brothers made mention of it early. You know, you got fly-by-night Israelites who come and go, and you got those that are seasonal Israelites, and you got those that kind of endure for a time, for a little while. And, you know, but at the end of the day, we got examples like Brother Yerushalayim. You know, he made some mighty videos early on in this truth, man. He probably gained the most traction for this truth ever. You know what I'm saying? That one video that he made of a little short documentary, like I want to say it was like 58 minutes, but it was on exposing who the Israelites are. And he brought out, you know, precepts. He had visuals. He had, you know, great editing, you know, lighting, everything you could, you know, imagine or, you know, look to in a video, you know, and I think it was called Hidden Identity of Blacks in the Bible. Right. And that video, when I had originally seen it, it was over 1 million views. And it has been reposted plenty of times. And each time it always went up to 1 million views, because that video alone woke up so many, including myself. You know, and that brother made other videos as well.
Shalom to all the viewers.
Salak, yeah.
Okay, God, I was like,
yeah.
But nah, yeah. So that woke up so many people. He made plenty other videos as well. But what happened with him? He fell out the truth. You know, this is the brother right here, Brother Yerushalayim. You know what I'm saying? He had plenty of videos again, and he stumbled off of one question that he couldn't answer, I believe, in regards to you know, a science question. You know, and this is one of his videos right here. He had the neither Jew nor Greek deception. He was breaking everything down mightily, man. But the Most High stripped the spirit from him, and he went off into a spirit of aquaponics, if I'm pronouncing that right. And he shaved his beard, and, you know, shaved what hair was on his head, and there you go right there. The aquaponics God manual. Right. The God manual of aquaponics, man. That's what the brother went into, man. And he was a mighty brother who was breaking the word down, man. But the Most High stripped the spirit from him, man. You know, and for him, like he said, he actually, I think I made a video like 2 years ago explaining why he left Hebrew Israelism or something. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure you could probably see it in one of his more recents. But yeah, I think that was like within the 2 year range, a 2 year span where he kind of released that. It might have been a little over two.
And you know that goes to show, like, a lot of brothers, you know, they can be well gifted in the work of
Yeah.
breaking the scriptures down, but they ain't got no faith.
Yeah.
Like these scriptures is 50% breaking it down, but it's also 50% faith, man.
Right.
You know, if you don't have faith in the scriptures, you're gonna get pushed up out of here, man. Cause all our mighty forefathers had faith, man. The stuff that they didn't understand, they wait on the Lord. That's faith, right? Let me bring this out, man. This is Hebrews chapter 11. And we, you know, brothers always get into real quick. The book of Hebrews chapter 11. Right? A lot of these men lack faith, man. They don't have real faith. Because if you got to be on the camera all the damn time and you can't bring the word out unless the camera's on, man, you ain't got no faith in these scriptures, man. All right? You want to be a damn superstar. That's it.
Yeah.
This is Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 1. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtain a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of Yahweh, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. By faith Abel offered unto Yahweh a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous, God testifying of his gifts, and by it he being dead yet speaks. By faith Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found because God has translated him. For before his translation he had this testimony that he pleased Yahweh. But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that comes to Yahweh must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Right? And the Lord's gonna test your faith, man. Yeah. He gonna always test your faith. All these mighty men that of our time that we seen and potentially failed, they just didn't have no faith because the Lord always trying to elevate you, man. You can't never know enough of these scriptures, of these revelations, of these different practical righteous living. You can't never know enough, man. Who knows the depths of Yahweh, man? Yeah. And how far and deep it goes. You can't never know. That's why Paul said, man, I prophesy in part. I'm one of the top men. I'm prophesying in part, man. Because you can't never know enough. And so faith should be 50%. It should be 50% of faith and 50% of wisdom that the Most High give you to break down these scriptures, man. All right. 50-50.
God. Yeah. God, yeah. I want to get this in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 4. And I'm gonna start at 1. It says, better it is to have no children and to have virtue, for the memorial thereof is immortal, because it is not known with God and with men. When it is present, men take example at it, and when it is gone, they desire it. It weareth the crown and triumpheth forever, having gotten the victory, striving for undefiled rewards. But the multiplying brood of the ungodly shall not thrive, nor take deep rooting from bastard slips, nor lay any fast foundation. For though they flourish in branches for a time, yet standing not fast, they shall be shaken with the wind, and through the force of winds they shall be rooted out. The imperfect branches shall be broken off, their fruit unprofitable, not ripe to eat, yea, meat for nothing, right? So, and this is going into, the parabolic aspect of, your fruits. Christ, Yahweh Shai said, you shall know them by their fruits. Well, some brothers' branches, they thrive. They thrive for seasons. You know what I'm saying? Spring, winter, summer, fall. 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. But at some point in time, when the Most High says, hey, I didn't use them all for what I wanted to get out of him, take him out the way now. And that's what happens, man. That's because what did it say? It said what? He didn't have a fast foundation. His foundation was never stable. You know what I'm saying? Some things can stand for a long time, even though their foundation is terrible, but at some point it's gonna fall. You know what I'm saying? And just that last part one more time, it said, verse 4, for though they flourish in branches for a time, yet standing not fast, they shall be shaken with the wind. And through the force of winds, they shall be rooted out. When the trial and the affliction and the exposing of your deeds come out, you know what I'm saying? And you might have in times past been able to finesse your way back into the hearts of the people. You might have in times past been able to, use some wise words. You know what I'm saying? Have some cunning words. You might have been able to finesse the people like Polite used to back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And kind of get you going or whatever. And another thing that the Most High ain't dealing with, he ain't dealing with yes men. He's not dealing with that. You got yes niggas around your corner, man. Most High ain't dealing with that. Yeah. We should do that, huh? Yeah, man. That sounds like a good idea. You know what I'm saying? Just telling you yes every single time and not rebuking you for any wickedness that you do. Ariana got on me the other day, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, you got to take it. We had a conversation the next day. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, brothers got to do that. Brothers doing something in the opposition of how the Most High wants us to walk, you got to check their spirit. You got to do that. It's necessary, and that's a sure tell sign of somebody being a brother to you in his truth. You know what I'm saying? So hey, but let me get this other precept. Right. This is
you can't be no brother and you a yes man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you can't be on that.
Can't do that. There's no brotherhood in yes men, right? So let me get this in Psalms 102 in verse 10. It says, because of thine indignation and thy wrath, for thou hast lifted me up and cast me down. My days are like a shadow that declineth, and I am withered like grass. You know what I'm saying? So, and it says, but thou, O Lord, shalt endure forever, and thy remembrance unto all generations. So again, man, he says the Most High, he could lift you up or he could cast you down. Right. And in that verse 11, one more time, my days are like a shadow that declineth, and I am withered like grass. We come and go. You know what I'm saying? We nothing unto the Most High. You know what I'm saying? So don't, again, as Yasharallah went into, of exalting yourself, don't exalt yourself in this truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just, this almighty person, you deserve the honor and the praise. You labored for the people. You gave everything for them. You sacrificed. You know what I'm saying? And then when things collapse right before you, then hey, I'm just a man at the end of the day. I don't know why you following me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Stand on it, man. You know what I'm saying? Stand on what you did. I mean, it's terrible for you to, to sit there and try to, how I want to put it, man. You're trying to minimalize, the evil and a lot of the things that was done. You try to, make it, minuscule here or there, swept it under the rug. I repented of it already. Hey, look, the Most High don't want to hear that, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's only so much that the quote unquote community is gonna get, we're gonna see it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? Brothers, give chances. We forgive, brothers want to see other people thrive and excel in his truth. We have faith. We loved all of the mighty stuff that brothers taught and the lessons that came forth, but at the end of the day, the Most High could bring in 10 men to replace that one. You know what I'm saying? And he'll do that. You know what I'm saying? For all the wisdom that one brother gave, the Most High got 10 brothers that measure up to exactly what that was. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, that's the way the Most High operate, man. That's the truth for you. You know what I'm saying? But brothers got it. We can get some closing precepts.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, man. Hey, man. I look forward for all my brothers and sisters to win, man. But we know the reality is, in this wicked side that we're in, this earth that we're in today, this is not made for us. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of brothers and sisters that's going to fall, and a lot of brothers and sisters that have fallen. You know what I'm saying? Because we between this road of temptation and righteousness, man. It's either or, man. And temptation right now, because of the internet and many other things to comfort, the flesh. Hey, man, it's screaming right now, man. It's super loud. You hear more flesh yelling and screaming than you even hear the Israelites that's shaking their hand out on the streets.
Yeah,
it's loud out here, man.
Yeah,
And it will get your
Yeah, I'm saying that right now as I'm hearing the little nightclub right outside the apartment.
You know, right there.
And you hear the music going, man. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, man. So and the world hears its own, man. Like according to 1 John chapter 5, or I think it's chapter 4. But the world hears its own, man. It's not hearing us. We're dead to the earth, man. We're dead to the world. The earth is ours, though. The scripture says, my family pull that out. The scripture says the earth is ours, man. This earth was built for the elect, but the system of this world, the beast system, hey, this got to go, man. It got to go. This is Second Ezra. Second Ezra chapter 8. And man, I remember when I first read this precept, man, my spirit jumped within my spirit, man. Jumped in my body. Jumped out. It felt like my spirit jumped out of my body, man. It says, Second Ezra chapter 8 and verse 1. And he answered me, saying, the Most High has made this world for many. Right? And we see that today. Everybody do what they want. Wickedness is all over the earth. Folly is set in great dignity. People do what they want. Whatever their heart desire, they do it. They get it. They make money. Matter of fact, I was pulling up to the little Jamaican spot yesterday trying to get something to eat. As soon as I pull up, you got a Northern Kingdom Eve twerking right outside. And her friend got a camera, her friend recording it, and her friend got plastic lips. I mean, this place look like a circus out here, man.
Yeah.
Right? So this is why we want to see the world to come, man. You got to be done with this world already. If you're not done with this world, then you're going to be done, man. You will be done if you're not done with this world right now as we speak, man. You got to let this thing go. This thing already circling the drain, like Elder always say, man.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is out of here, man. There ain't much to do on this earth. Like I got into it earlier, last message that, the last live I did through the Spirit. There ain't much to do on this earth, man. The Lord said, I'm gonna bring this last precept, Revelation chapter 6. And the Lord says he's going to take peace from the earth, man. And we clearly seeing that today.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is the book of Revelations, chapter 6, and verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given unto him that sat upon it to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. Right? And the Lord taking peace off the earth, faith off the earth, truth off the earth. We the last sense of truth that's on the earth. Ain't that so? So once the Lord take us out, hey, truth is fully off this earth through the Spirit. You know what I'm saying? So I yield with that.
Yeah, Con, man. And I just got some closing statements as well. Precept. But nevertheless, man, I guess like we kept saying in the video, it all boils down to your discernment and, as the brother said, faith. Me, I've always harped on faith, man. Faith is the most important thing you must have in this truth, man. Right? Faith in life in general. You gotta have it, right? And people have it on a minuscule level and don't even realize it. Faith is you getting in your car and driving 30 minutes to an hour to go to work. Did you call your job and say, hey, are y'all still, is the building still up and everything? Hey, your building could have, your job, you're driving 30 minutes to work early in the morning. You don't even think twice that your job is still there, right? It could have burned down. You know what I mean? It could have, the freeway could have been blocked, whatever the case may be, but you are still moving in that type of minuscule faith. So the same thing goes with what the Most High, right? Yahweh Shah. Right? That's another thing. You know what I mean? We won't necessarily have to get into, but that's my last video also did, the faith in Yahweh Shah, man. Right? That boils down to that too. So it really boils down to the faith. When you see brothers wavering, understand this was already meant to happen, right? If a brother falls off, but he's having a pattern of good works. This brother has to have a pattern of good works. He does this, or he may slip up, whatever. Hey man, we just keep it pushing, man. Because we know at the end of the day, we're men in the flesh. These same men throwing stones, they gotta throw some stones at they self as well. Because nobody's perfect, man. Right? I'm gonna get like 2 precepts real quick. I'm gonna pass it. Right. You literally have a brother saying, which I'm not gonna name him. The brother said, hey, if it wasn't for Yahweh Shah, I would stone this guy to death, man. Right? In Israel. You got that, you got a brother saying that, man. All right.
Yeah, I don't even know who that was.
He said, I will stone this nigga. Right? My language, right? Yeah. To death. Right? So again, man, is that the spirit of Yahweh Shah? Is that the spirit, what I mean, that we should be moving in the last days, man? Right? Is that the spirit even of the apostles, right? With the exception of the sons of thunder, which would be was that James and James and John, right? Yeah, the sons of Zebedee. All right. And when they had that spirit, what did the Yahweh Shah say? Yahweh Shah checked them, man. Say, hey, this is not the time for that, man. Right. What fear you in? So if you in Israel talking about you're in the truth, you're this and the third, you mighty, and then you talking about another brother, you said, if it wasn't for Yahweh Shah, I would stone that nigga.
Yeah, right? Making documentaries on the brother. That's awesome, man.
Come on, bro. Hey, 4 to 5 hour lives on the brother, man. 4 to 5 hours, right? You know how much you can accomplish in 4 to 5 hours, man. That's a whole part-time shift right there, right? That's a whole time you could have been studying. You could have been doing X, Y, and Z. But you made you spent 4 to 5 hours on a live about another man life, right? So we have to check and examine our spirits in the last days, man, right? This is a book of Job, chapter 9, verse number 20. It says, if I justify myself, mine own mouth shall condemn me. You see that? Hey, Job said, if I can justify myself, my mouth, I'm gonna fall upon my words, basically, right? My own mouth is going to condemn me, man. Right? It says, if I say I am perfect, it shall also prove me perverse. Right? So we can't walk in that spirit, hey, I am perfect. Because nobody's perfect in this flesh, man. Stop saying you're perfect, man. Right? You have brothers saying I'm perfect in this truth right now. No, I'm perfect. You can't tell me nothing, right? I can, I can do X, Y, and Z, right? I can go here. I can go wherever I want, right? Did not the Lord say, wherever I set my foot upon is mine, right? Brothers will literally pull precepts on you. You know what I mean? Did not the Lord say this? So, hey, look, man, we have to examine and to check our spirits because, hey, at the end of the day, no one's perfect. So, if we see a brother waver to and fro, if we see a brother fall, okay, all right, yeah. Proverbs chapter 24, verse 16. That's not going to affect anything going on over here, right? That's more exhortation to, hey, see, guess what? Even the mightiest man can fall. So, let's keep pushing, man, right? That should be more of an exhortation. And then Salaki, I think I had one more, right? Again, this is Philippians, right? Let me get this real quick. It's Philippians chapter 2, right? Verse number 12. It says, "Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. For it is the Most High which worketh in you, both to will and to do of his good pleasure." You see that? So work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, man. A lot of y'all on the Israelite so-called community boards, Facebook, especially Facebook, man, right? Just talking, man, all day, man, about other people. You know what I mean? Tailbearing, right? Gainsaying, you know, the back and forth, the backbiting. The Lord said, work out your own side. Okay, look, if a brother worship on another day, hey, that's him. All right, Khan, right? Let's work out our own salvation. Let's focus on what we got to focus on, man. Right? Let's not be so damn concerned about, okay, this brother's doing this, this, and the third, right? Now, obviously, that doesn't mean we can't see what's going on and we talk about it amongst ourselves. Okay, yeah, this is the Lord putting this on display. But I'm talking about the excessiveness of it, right? The going to and fro, the tailbearing of it, the going on public boards, bashing a brother, man. You know what I mean? That's not the spirit. Let's work out our own salvation, fear and trembling, and let's not waver when we see these things transpire. Con, I pass it.
God. I was thinking of a few precepts, but I'll start off with this one. This is 2 Peter chapter 2, and I'm gonna start at verse 12. It says, "But these, as natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of the things that they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption, and shall receive the reward of unrighteousness, as they that count it pleasure to riot in the daytime. Spots they are and blemishes, sporting themselves with their own deceivings, while they feast with you, having eyes full of adultery, and that cannot cease from sin, beguiling unstable souls." That's the yes men, beguiling unstable souls. And then having eyes full of adultery. You got brothers online trying to get at women who are separated from their husbands and already haven't dealt with other men. You know what I'm saying? So having eyes full of adultery. It says, "and heart they have exercised with covetous practices." Again, that's wanting to be and have a certain position, if not in this truth, in the world. I mean, it really comes down to, you wanted this in the world in the first place. So that's a spirit of covetousness, right? "Cursed children, which have forsaken the right way and are gone astray, following the way of Balaam, the son of Besor, who loved the wages of unrighteousness," man. So, love the compensation, you know what I'm saying, of unrighteous dealings. You know what I'm saying? So this is verse 16. "But was rebuked for his iniquity, the dumb ass, speaking with man's voice. forbade the madness of the prophet. Shout out to Brother Rock.
God.
These are wells without water, clouds that are carried with the tempest, to whom the mist of darkness is reserved forever. Right? So they got a spirit of darkness upon them. They might not even, realize it. For when they speak great swelling words of vanity, they allure through the lust of the flesh. Through much wantonness, those that were clean escape from them who live in error, while they promise them liberty. They themselves are the servants of corruption, for of whom a man is overcome, of the same is he brought in bondage. Right? So, brothers who have escaped from the vanities of this world, the lust of the flesh, and all things concerning, the error of their ways, are brought back into bondage by those same very things. Right? Verse 20, for if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world through the knowledge of the Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai and Mashiach, they are again entangled therein and overcome, the latter end is worse with them than the beginning. For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than after they have known it, to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them. But it has happened unto them according to the true proverb, the dog is turned to his own vomit again, and the soul that was washed to her wallowing in the mire. Right? So, we see what the end result is going to be of those that, they flirt back with the old man. They don't go about, like as Paul stated, he dies daily. They don't go about killing that old man daily. The old man's going to revive himself every so often. He might be every day, he might be every few days, might be every week, but he's coming back. You know what I'm saying? And not only is that old man coming back, he's coming back with spirits on top of spirits on top of spirits. You know what I'm saying? So let me get this last one right quick in St. John chapter 13, right? And I'm just going to make a connection here with Yahweh Shai. This is St. John chapter 13 and verse 5. After that, he poureth water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and to wipe them with the towel wherewith he was girded. Then cometh he to Simon Peter, and Peter saith unto him, Lord, doest thou wash my feet? Yahweh Shai answered and said unto him, what I do thou knowest not now, but thou shalt hereafter. Thou shalt know hereafter. Peter saith unto him, thou shalt never wash my feet. Yahweh Shai answered him, if I wash thee not, thou hast no part with me. Simon Peter saith unto him, Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head. Yahweh Shai saith to him, he that is washed needeth not save to wash his feet, but is clean every whit, and ye are clean, but not all. Right? So what is the parallel I'm trying to make here? And it's deeper meanings all across the board. But Yahweh Shai washed his disciples' feet, with spiritual intentions. You know what I'm saying? He said you need your feet washed. You know what I'm saying? This is the most important thing. Why is that he said that? I'm gonna get this in Proverbs chapter 4, right? This is Proverbs chapter 4, and I'm gonna start at verse, I want to say 15. Salakia. Or maybe verse 12. Salakia, bear with me. All right. I'm gonna start at verse 21. We'll start from there. Salakia, 25. Let thine eyes look right on, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. Turn not to the right hand, nor to the left. Remove thy foot from evil. Right? So we got to walk on that straight and narrow path that Yahweh Shai spoke upon. A clean path. You know what I'm saying? That left side, that right side, that's where the evil is. Like Ezra talked about, that's where the water is, that's where the fire is. You can either drown or you can get burned. You know what I'm saying? Ponder the path of your feet. Look forward. Yasharala brought out the precept earlier, Ephesians 3. You know what I'm saying? We press toward the mark. I don't know if you read it or not, but we press toward the mark. You know what I'm saying? Seeking his kingdom first. You know what I'm saying? That's pondering the path of your feet, and we are all walking in the spirit of Yahweh Shai, having washed our feet, man. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, with that, unless a brother got something else, say shalom.
Yeah, I got one more thing. Hey man, the test of time, man. You know, time always proves everything and everybody. So, you know, make sure you endure to the end through the spirit by staying in the spirit.
Yeah.
That's right. Gone. Yeah, I ain't got nothing else.
Gone. So hey man, you know, with that being said, we're gonna say Shabbat Shalom. May everybody have a mighty Sabbath as a Saturday saint in the Lord. And you know, and you know, maybe you know, we bring some sheep back to the fold tomorrow, Lord willing, man. So hey,
That's
Shalom, man.
right.
Gone.
So,
Shalom.